es hustle. Soy Enrique Byrnes y presidente eso mejor cerveza. No abate por No Filter Network. Miguelito San Dieguito. I promise you, I do speak English and Spanish, by the way. Not with us today. Will the Thrill Clark, not with us today. But, per usual, we come on here and properly salute our boys and, well, each and every one of you. Yes, 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 yes. Whew. Remember this, folks? When we are juiceful, we are useful. And when we are juiceless, we are fucking useless. A very pleasant good morning to you on the 5th day of September 2024. Yesterday's daily hustle that went out, and I actually shared on the show yesterday, that had no audio. I mean, what a shame. It really does suck when you go and you do a whole show, and yesterday's was only like, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes. But still, I've gotten caught up with some audio issues the past couple days. So no big deal, onward and upward. I could sit here and complain all I want about it, but it will not do anybody any good. As a matter of fact, I read a fantastic quote this morning, and I like screenshotted it. It was from Plato. And basically what he said, it's not basically what he said. What he said, I know because I favorited it. So let me hit my favorites. There are two things a person should never be angry at: what they can help and what they cannot. Simple as that. So if you can help it, meaning you can make adjustments and you can figure out a way to fucking fix it, why are we getting upset? And then on the flip side of that, if we can't help it, if there's nothing we can do, why are we going to get upset back the other way? So certainly this is something that I knew I could do something. I run this off the iPad. I'm in flux between, it's not flux, in like transition between computers and getting the full-blown kick-ass podcast set up here in the office. And I've had it a couple times. It's just my computer connector flamed out, and I'm trying to figure out if it's the computer or the connector or whatever. In the meantime, I've been traveling all summer, so to be able to do the shows off the iPad, I get it, and I understand if you're listening on Apple, you're listening on Spotify, the audio quality is not the pristine, ideal, oh, this is amazing. I understand that. We will get there, but I will also say, because I'll go back and I'll listen to other shows with similar audio. Typically, after the first minute or two, you don't think about it that much, so long as it's not crackling and doing some other shit. Another thing I want to share with you guys this morning. I tweeted this out. So good. I was rolling through Derek Jeter's Instagram account last night, and it was just like a post that he had, a standard post. It's like something about like, oh, hey, what a wonderful summer it was. And so there's pictures of him, and a lot of them with, at the Yankees old-timer game, here, there, wherever. Well, then I come across this gem, and there's just something that's just so fucking right with this picture. I don't know if it makes me feel good because this is my childhood hero and then somebody I looked up to the entire time I played Major League Baseball. Maybe there's something that is just so classy about the two individuals. One on the West Coast in San Francisco, obviously, in Joe Montana, and then the other one on the East Coast and Derek Jeter. One, a football legend, the other, the baseball legend. But I just can't get enough of that pick. Yesterday, let's see here, was the 4th. And the Daily Hustle electronic email communication that went out was titled "Practice is a Privilege." Buenos dias. Today is Wooden Wednesday, September 4th, so that was yesterday. On this day, 2006, we lost one of the most daring animal-loving savages who has ever graced this earth when the crocodile hunter, Steve Irwin, was pierced in the chest by a stingray. Tonight, as I did last night, let's raise one up and pour some out for an international icon that provided next-level entertainment by educating the world and bringing us closer to the most ferocious and deadliest animals around the world. So I was in Medford, Oregon. I just signed with the Oakland A's. And my room, oh shit, a fucking coyote. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Look out for the coyote. Woo. This thing looks like a fucking wolf. Oh, there's more. But wait, there's more. Where else will this happen? But on No Filter Network. That was a trip. Anyhow, so Jason Dobas from University of Minnesota is my roommate. And we literally had like, I don't know, 5 channels. It was like click, 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 right? Old school Motel 6. I mean, this place was fucking terrible. So we found the crocodile hunter. And every night he would come on at like 11 o'clock. And this was before anybody knew who he was. It's 1998. And we both would stay up all night watching this fucking guy. And Dobas is like, oh, Byrnesy, this guy's crazy. He's crazy. And it was just amazing. So when he passed in 2006, like it hit home. Good to see his family has continued his legacy, chasing wild animals around the world and educating all of us on them. That's the beauty of it. The Daily Hustle quote of the day: practice is a privilege. Daily Hustle translation: on occasion when John Wooden felt his teams were not giving their full effort on the basketball court, he would escort his players out of the gym, shut out the lights, lock the doors, and go home. I love this. Coach Wooden felt that practicing at UCLA was a privilege, and when his players were not displaying the right attitude or effort, they did not deserve the opportunity to practice on such hallowed grounds. This certainly did not happen often, but when it did, it would immediately freak the players out and not shockingly get them begging Coach Wooden to open back up the gym and restart practice. In short, this was Coach Wooden's brilliant way to remind his players of how lucky they are not only to be physically able to practice and play the sport of basketball, but also of how much of an honor and privilege it was to be able to do it collectively as a team with the guidance of a coaching staff dedicated to making each and every one of them better basketball players. Way too often, teams and individuals will take practice for granted and lethargically go through the motions. The issue with this is that our brains are a complex computer system that sends messages to our bodies, allowing us to perform complex actions. When we half-ass shit in practice, we are teaching our bodies to half-ass shit in games. Bottom line, yes, practice can seem tedious at times, but it's our duty as both coaches and athletes to keep gratitude at the forefront of everything and remind ourselves that practice is a fucking privilege. EB, then there's the pic I had there with John Wooden at the diner. So that's somewhere in the valley. Just what an awesome opportunity to be able to do that a couple years before he passed. All right, let's hit some pertinent topics that I want to talk about. I think right off the bat, let's just do this. Matt Chapman of the San Francisco Giants has signed a 6-year deal worth $151 million. This is an incredible sign for the San Francisco Giants. He had an opt-out at the end of this season. He thought he was going to get this deal last offseason. Obviously, it did not happen. He signed with the Giants late. Who gives a shit? I think this is a perfect example of somebody that went out there and proved that he was worth every bit of that money. The Giants saw it, recognized it. Look, Matt Chapman is good. Matt Chapman's really good. But he's hitting 247, 333 on base, 445 slugging. This is who he is. He didn't go out there and try to overperform. He went out there and just did him. You do that, you play gold glove defense, and that's what the Giants thought they were getting. A leader in the clubhouse, somebody that is incredibly representative of the San Francisco Giants organization, cut from the same cloth as a Buster Posey. He's humble. He works his ass off. By all accounts, just a fucking stand-up human being. Great sign by the Giants. It's going to keep them in San Francisco for the next 6 years, which it's nice to have that continuity, especially when you have other guys surrounding him. If you think about this, you get Elliot Ramos, you have Tyler Fitzgerald. There's a core nucleus of this team now that's not going anywhere. And so when you have Matt Chapman there to help bring these guys up, yeah, it's on. So the other guy, this was very interesting too. Let me go back to it for a second. The other guy that's killing it right now in the San Francisco Giants organization, their number one prospect, Bryce Eldridge. He was the club's 2023 first-round draft pick. He earned a promotion to Double-A Richmond on Tuesday. It says capping a hugely successful season for the 19-year-old first baseman. He didn't stop ranking, so he went from, single-A San Jose up to Eugene. He hit 335 with over 1,000 OPS and 12 homers in 48 games, which is what led him to get the promotion up to Richmond. This guy's legit, man. I mean, he's big, too. So we'll see how quickly he continues to progress. But when you're putting up those numbers in the minor leagues, it's no accident. The problem is when you have those guys that are kind of the fringy numbers where they're hitting 250, 260 in the minor leagues and some homers, but not great homers. You look to walk to strikeout ratio. You usually can tell a lot. But Bryce Eldridge is coming. So this ties in with the whole Chapman thing, Ramos thing, Fitzgerald thing, on and on and on with all their young players. Like, you want that dude to be there as these guys get to San Francisco. And I'm not just talking about a pitcher, because totally different. Pitchers and position players are playing two different sports. And if you're a leader on the pitching staff, great. But you need a leader from the position player side of things, and Matt Chapman is your fucking dude to go ahead and, not only continue to produce and play the great defense that he does, which sets the tone for everybody else, but what he does offensively on just a nice, steady pace. Nothing too crazy. And then if you could get some bats in there. Let's not forget, the Giants lost the lead at the beginning of the year, right? That was the biggest contract Farhan had handed out before Matt Chapman. That was $115 million. Well, Chappie now is going to get $150 coming his way. Let's see here. Don't have a ton of time, but let's get into the Whit Merrifield debacle yesterday. So Whit Merrifield got hit in the head by Colorado Rockies pitcher Jeff Criswell. Merrifield then just went off. He said it's ridiculous where the game is at right now. It's just ridiculous. The pitchers are throwing now. There's no remorse or regard for throwing up and in. Guys are throwing as hard as they can, and they don't care where the ball goes. He says it's bullshit. You can hit it. You can't hit a guy back anymore, so there's no fear of that. And if I hit this guy, then our guy's going to hit. That's not in the game anymore. Pitchers don't have to hit anymore, so they don't have to stand in the box. Merrifield is a player representative on MLB's competitive committee and said he planned to have a long discussion with other committee members during a meeting on Wednesday. So that meeting apparently would have taken place yesterday. Look, he's fucking right. They're bringing guys up who throw 100 and something miles per hour and they have no fucking idea how to pitch. They rear back, they throw as hard as they can, they all blow out. I don't. It's dangerous. It's fucking dangerous. And it's not that guys don't throw in or whatever else. Like, guys don't pitch. They're not nearly as good of pitchers as there were back in the day. And so with that, here's the problem, is that they have no fucking control. So, look, Atlanta's lost like 3 dudes. Now, Whit Merrifield's got this CAT scan that he had to go through and everything else. He's right. I just don't know what you do about it. What can you do? I mean, you can tell teams not to bring guys up. They're on 100. I'd like to see them get more control, but at some point, you got to run them out there. Now, I guess there are certain things where you could say, hey, look, if you hit a fucking batter and you hit him in the head, you're out of the game immediately. That's not a bad idea. Like, if you go ahead, whether intentional or not, if you go ahead and look at the NFL, a lot of times you'll have these helmet-to-helmet contacts that are unintentional. They didn't mean for it to happen, but if they happen, at least I know in college, they throw them out of the fucking game. Why wouldn't we have that same mentality and concept in Major League Baseball? You have an object that literally can fucking kill somebody going right at somebody's head. And I get it. Maybe it wasn't intentional. But if you can't throw a fucking strike and you can't control it from hitting a guy in the head, you shouldn't be on the fucking mound. Get off the gosh damn field. Simple as that. So, MLB, if they want to do something about it, you really want to protect your fucking players? Number one, teach these pitchers how to throw strikes and not just throw as hard as they fucking can every time they take the mound. And number two, throw them out of the fucking game. Get them out of there. You can't throw a strike. You're hitting dudes in the head. Get the fuck out. I think it's if you hit multiple batters. I don't know. Let's just say 3 batters in a game, automatic ejection. You hit a guy in the head, automatic ejection. That's it. I get it. Everyone's going to have it's not baseball. Blah, 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 blah. Fuck off. If you're trying to protect the players, that's how you protect the players. And if you're trying to get these guys to throw fucking strikes, that's how you get them to throw strikes. Simple as that. All right. I got to roll. So much left on the table here, including the White Sox. I can't keep talking about the White Sox. The last one. All right. So this is fascinating because right now, if you look at the National League Rookie of the Year race, you instantly think of 2 guys. Paul Skeens, who's been killing it in Pittsburgh, started the All-Star game. How could he not be at the top of everybody's list, right? Well, there's a guy named Jackson Merrill, who was at his tricks again last night, killing it for the San Diego Padres. The Padres are not in the position they are right now, which is in playoff position, without Jackson Merrill. So the 2 of those guys, you're thinking 1-2 in the National League Rookie of the Year. Well, hold on a second, because there's another Jackson Chourio from the Milwaukee Brewers that's been absolutely fucking slaughtering it for the Brew Crew, who also, by the way, they have the largest division lead in all of baseball and are certainly a playoff team. So check this out. Since June 1st, Jackson Merrill, 298 batting average, 18 homers, 902 OPS. Jackson Chourio, 320 batting average, 14 homers, 929 OPS. So there they are. I think this is one of the greatest races that we've seen in a long time, whether it's an MVP, Rookie of the Year, whatever. And I don't think it's going to get too much national attention because people outside of the baseball world really don't give a fuck. But for those of us in it, I think it's absolutely fascinating. All right, could come back on later today. No, I'm not kidding. There's so much shit to talk about, and I had the show canceled yesterday. So we might run either a second DH, probably a deuces, later in the evening tonight. But as for now, pickleball, golf, full day planned ahead. Bet online. Shit, I freaking forgot that off the top. Our number one online gambling destination, Bet Online. You get all the latest news, scores, odds, predictions. Bet baseball, bet college football, bet the NFL, which is coming. All of it. Bet Online is there for you. Put in the promo code BLEAV, capital BLEAV, to get 50% off your first deposit. Bet Online. The game starts here. All right, everyone have a fantastic day. See ya.